Alright, here we go. Fit check. Bike check. How to lose a crit race, episode 6. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and mostly gentlemen, judging by my YouTube analytics, welcome back to another sumptuous, nay, I actually don't have another adjective, how to lose a crit race. You know the deal, if you have been here before, and if you have not, and this is your first time stumbling across this absolute treasure trove, welcome. I appreciate you. Hopefully you stick around. If you don't, you can go and anyway, welcome to another episode of How to Lose a Crit Race. It is a series where I analyze my previous race and demonstrate to you all of the ways in which I lose. We are back at the best crit track in all of the world. Last week I said it was the best crit track in Sydney. This week I'm going further. This guy cannot clip in. I'm going the best. How embarrassing. This is the best crit track in all of the world, and that is the sound of a caffeinated beverage being cracked, because the only thing better than analysis of a crit race is highly caffeinated analysis of a crit race. Number 14 there, that is Flo. He's in the Nero Show onesie. I refuse to call them skin suits, they're onesies. I think someone needs to incorporate a little bum flap so you can take a shit while you're in them. Like long johns. Maybe that's what we could start calling them. Anyone that shows up in a crit race in a skin suit now is wearing long johns, and I want to see a little butt flap with some buttons cut into it so that you can do a shit. Flo, I love you, and I'm sorry, but he doesn't have aero socks though, I don't think, which is an interesting choice there by Flo. Some what gains and some what lost. Anyway, this is a relatively female-friendly field this week, because this happened on the 5th, and in Sydney, I believe this is the first crit race of the new year. So happy new year to all of you. Hopefully you have not gotten too fat off your Christmas pudding, and you can still climb at some level. But just remember, any weight put on is just some more watts that you can put out, or I think that's how it works, because it seems the heavier dogs are able to put out more watts. So anyway, this number 28 is a bit of a demon. All of the females in this field are absolute beasts, but I believe it's number 57 here from memory, who is the one that you really need to watch out for. These are the gutter rats, and they came to absolutely stomp their dominance on this crit race, and they absolutely did that. Now, if you're having a look at this and you'll be thinking, oh, you know what? He's doing all right. He's in a good position. And I actually think this overlay is super sexy. And hey, you're welcome. I'm constantly looking to innovate, and I'm actually really proud of this one. Another person that you will recognize from previous races is Hayden, number 64, coming back here. This is our friend Hayden, absolute legend. And his Mrs. Demi is in B grade this week for the first time. And I'm just going to spoil something here and say she finishes, last race she came 3rd in C grade, and she's promoted herself, and she finishes with the bunch in B grade. So huge snaps to Demi as we complete our first lap. So we got Hayden, we got Flo, we got the gutter rats, that's that grey and black jersey there. And we also have, as we see, a little break go off here, and here we go, it's classic Burgess, because I am jumping back on. However, again, not a bad move. It does get bad when I decide, hold my beer, I'm going off the front, and here we are, putting out good watts, and good speed, as we come through this this slightly technical section here. Now, this is the point where I say this video, to get this video done, has been an absolute pain in the backside. I don't know what's been going on with Premiere Pro, but it has just been insufferable and has been refusing to render this. So the fact that it is here for you is a Christmas miracle, even though it is in January. But what can I say except you're welcome. Anyway, as you can see in the rear view there, this attack has been wholly unsuccessful, as most of my attacks are. But we are going to see a few characters coming back. But for the most part, this is just me holding on to, this is our friend from last race, the Master, Waratah Masters. I think I might call him Ash Ketchum, because Ash Ketchum is a Pokemon Master, and I think it will come through on the video that he is wearing Pikachu and Squirtle socks. Absolute legend. But yeah, he's doing a little bit of work on the front, which is super cool to see. We love it. And we have myself and Ash Ketchum here. We have got a bit of a break, but that break, as you could probably guess if you've seen this a little bit, is going to come to. It's going to come to nothing. Is what it's going to do. And you would think that at this point I will learn my lesson, sit in the bunch, and accept that, you know what, some big dogs have come to play today, and maybe I just won't be able to mix it up. Maybe I just won't be able to get that break happening like I might dream of. And this is stuff I go to bed and I dream about, just going down to Waratah Masters that lands down and getting a break happening. Anyway, it doesn't happen, and here we are with the bunch. But hey, I'm not on the front. So those of you who say I'll never learn, not on the front here. I'm not doing the work. Ash Ketchum doing the work here. And we have a bit of a break, but then it's back. And he realizes it, he pulls off. And of course, I go, and look at this, it's a break. And you would think, oh, hey, maybe you get away. Maybe it works, but you look in the rear view mirror there, you will see that Ash Ketchum is right on my wheel. This is not working. It is also the second of, as you can see in the elevation profile there, several laps. But if you think I'm bad, here's Hayden, and he's doing a Burgess on the front. Or at a certain point, we nicknamed Hayden the Ox last week, and I think we'll maintain that. At a certain point, it might become me doing an Ox instead of the Ox doing a Burgess, because he froths for getting on the front and having a go. And I think he does this because he's an absolute G, and he really wants to mix it with me. He wants to get going with me and just have me and Haters, me and the Ox off the front having a crack. But every time he does it, I've been going for like half a lap and he drops me. And like I talked about last week, I've now tried to hold his wheel. He's flicked the elbow. I've been gapped for that whole time, so I've been going at pretty heavy watts. And now I'm on the front, and I'm going to look over my shoulder in a sec and see that the group is really coming back. And this one is failed. So yeah, we might fast forward here, because really we're just watching me self-flagellation. I think it is. There used to be like this religious sect that believed that the only way they could get to heaven is if they just repetitively punish themselves. And it's basically what I'm doing here, isn't it? Just really not. Yeah. Anyway, let's stop self-flagellating, and let's get the music going for a little bit. Okay, so you'll see coming over my right shoulder here, he's about to come into view. It is Crafty, or No Gaps. He is always, or he seems to be always wearing this Duval jersey, which I believe is a German drop. I'm not really sure. Duvel. I believe it's a German beer. It certainly looks Germanic with that font. But anyway, he is a major player in this race, and he just has several cracks, and he's starting to work his way up. Every time you see him working his way up, you know that he's about to have a go, and he's an absolute engine, and it's you wouldn't expect it. Having a look at the guy, he's not riding an elite bike. He's riding he's wearing a German beer. I think it's actually a skin suit, so he might be wearing long johns himself. But there he goes, bang, off goes Crafty, and he does this again and again, and he seems to. I'm going to use a pun here because Crafty gets crafty. In fact, that's going to be the episode title, I think. I've got it right there. But he just attacked there. 59 has gone with him. Centennial Park CC. So Chris Miller, we named him last week. We kept that one. Chris Miller's gone with him. And somehow Crafty's managed to attack, get Chris Miller to jump on, and now Crafty's had a break, and he's gone. And he's dropped Chris Miller. Chris Miller is on my wheel now, and I'm sort of coming back. So we pull him back. But I had an old coach once. Yeah, that's right. I used to be coached. Get over it. I had an old coach once, and he told me that everyone's got a certain amount of matches in their matchbox. And he said one thing that I had in my favour at the time, I'm not sure whether he would say the same now, was that I have quite a few matches to burn. They might not burn super brightly, and they might not burn super long, but I've got a box full of them. And Crafty is a matchbox store. He has matches to burn. You get him near a fire, he'll just go, because he's going again. And he's got form in this. He's done it in the past at Penrith, and he's just you got to watch the dude. So Crafty's off here, and we won't see him for a little while from memory. So let's just fast forward a little bit and see what happens, because at the moment I'm thinking about, am I actually chasing him? I've got a gap here. I've forgotten this part of the race happened, but I think at this point again, this is looking good. I reckon maybe there's like an alternate reality where I win with this move. Crafty's a good one to get on the wheel of. This isn't stupid. I mean, it's taken me a while to get onto his wheel. It would have been nice if I'd made this jump before. And then, of course, Crafty has a look over. He's a top bloke, and he has a bit of a dig, but we're both gassed at this point. So he's freewheeling. I'm freewheeling, as you can see. And yeah, it's just going to, it's likely going to come to nothing. We know that it comes to nothing because I don't win. I really need to learn to take that corner better while I'm at it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe just on reflection, I'm just too tired at this point, and that's the issue. Because I've tried having a few cracks, but you can see the group coming back. So let's not waste any more time with this. We know this is it's like walking into a terminal ward. You know this isn't going to last. Alright, so if you are new to this, you'll be having a look and you'll see that there's a group off the front and you might be thinking, why is this dude so critical of himself? He's always sort of attacking himself for, mixing it up, but if he doesn't chase back, who will? But what you'll see here on the right is the reason why you should not spend extended periods of time in a crit off the front. All these people are fresh and they're attacking onto a break, as we see Chris Miller go past, and I'm now, after being on the front for a period of time, having to put in a huge amount of watts to try and get back after already exerting more energy than these people have been. So they've been sitting in my draft and now they're putting me in the red to catch a break. Now, I have to go with that because if this group gets across, I'm either dropped or in a smaller group, there's a larger group up the field, that's race done. And so at that point, I don't have a choice. But this is the reason why you should not spend extended periods of time off the front. I completely bury myself there to try and hold this, and I have to do it several times. You should always be looking at doing your move and then looking at giving someone else a turn. And I'm just not good at that yet. I don't know what it is. I was better at it last week. I throw the baby out with the bathwater this week, and it's really frustrating. I know that I raced stupid in this race, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, at the end of the day, look around and find out, right? But we can see a little bit of a break here. Let's just fast forward and see what happens because at the moment, I am absolutely gassed, and you can kind of see my heart rate is only just starting to come down below or almost below 170. There is a bit of a breakaway out the front, and yeah, I'm cooked. Alright, so just because people like it when I put A grade going past, this is A grade going past for the first time. You'll see black numbers versus white numbers. This is not the only time that A grade is going to go past. There were some really strong people showing up to A grade again, sort of first race of the season, and I am so glad that I was not in that field. That field was tough. But yeah, you see Peter Wakefield from Penrith, absolute legend, going past. He's about to head to Nationals to do the time trial, and he reckons that they're a good chance in the age cat. So yeah, should be interesting. Hopefully Penrith brings home another one. I think he was saying we've got it like 3 years in a row, or we've got it 3 times in the last 4 years. There was 1 year that they dropped the ball or something. Anyway, we're pretty good. Penrith are. Alright, so at this point in the race, you might be thinking, hang on a second, Aiden, you're sort of sitting in the bunch here and you're not putting out much power, but just like a lion that has been caged, you just cannot contain me. You cannot cage the beast. And here we go again. Another just stupid attack. 400, 500, 600, 650 watts. I mean, look, I'm on my own. And I don't know. Maybe if I was an introvert, this would be the way to race, but I'm a massive extrovert, and all I want is some friends to come with me, so I don't know why I keep doing this. But I think in the back of my head, I'm kind of hoping that there is just a group of people that will bridge across and we can work together, and that would be really nice. So guys, if you're out there, you're racing with me next time, just come hang with the boys. All I want. I just want someone to do these things with me. We're what, halfway through the race-ish? I'm on my own. It's lonely out here. Where's the ox? Where's Flo and his long johns? Mate, I'd even take Chris Miller at this point. Just anyone. Please. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so here we are. I've been off the front for a little bit, and bang, there goes an attack. I don't have the legs to follow it because I'm absolutely cooked. There's another one, and again, it's just another example of why you should not be doing this, because here I am off the front, and I've just sort of thought, you know what, I've got to wait for the group. You can see the watts just completely come off. I'm not able to chase those dudes, so I got to wait for some reinforcements. Get the reinforcements. Anyway, this is just another example of why it's stupid to spend that much time out there. So you might be saying, why do you keep doing this? You know it's dumb. You keep saying, look at this, it's stupid. But every week, it's like the definition of insanity. And I would say to you, the reason is, I believe I have undiagnosed ADHD. Super impulsive. And yeah, I'm just not one to sit in. But luckily, reinforcements have arrived and the group has been pulled back. But yeah, there's just another bonehead move from me. Just burning a few more of those. You know, I wouldn't even say it's burning those matches. It's just ripping them out of the matchbox, chucking them on the floor, flopping it out and taking a huge piss on them because, yeah, at least burning them I might get something out of them. But anyway. All right, I'm just jumping in here because this is a moment where I brown my trousers. So we're going down here, we're going pretty fast, almost 50 k's an hour, and Manly CC, boom, taps his brakes, and yeah, almost went into the trees there. That was super sketchy, and I've dropped them, and my heart rate, let's see, 185 beats a minute, and yeah, I genuinely thought I was crashing there. I don't know who was at fault there. I probably shouldn't have just put my brakes on. I was really hammering it to try and get there. I probably wasn't paying enough attention, but also old mate in front of me sort of feathered his brake. Honestly, it's my fault, but anyway, almost went down. Just wanted to highlight that because that was sketchy. All right, so jumping in here, not because anything exciting is happening, but I just want you to pay attention to number 59, Chris Miller Cycling Podcast. We've talked about universal signs of I am doing absolutely nothing. He goes on the front here, there is a break, and he just stands up, flops his arms down. Is there more of a sign of I have zero interest in chasing this group down than sitting up and taking your hands off the bars. It's not the first time he did it this race. I think he either does it after this or before this, but number 40 comes through and does the turn for him. But I just remember at the time having a bit of a chuckle to myself, just thinking there is no better signal that you have zero interest. In the past, we've talked about like taking a drink from your bidden being a sign. I don't think there is more of a universal sign of I am doing sweet FA to chase this down than sitting up and taking your hands off the bars. Fair play. Anyway, that's it. That's just an interesting little tactics there. I think it's because there's a few people from, or some of his mates might be in the group in front. A little bit of politics. Yeah. All right, so we've experienced a bit of a lull in the race up to this point, and you would have seen that, honestly, I've been racing pretty smart. But what always gets me is someone having a cheeky crack, and there's that bang, there's that impulsivity again. Now, on the right wheel here, this number, I think it's number 57, our Gutter Rats lady. She's an absolute demon. Excellent wheel to be following. You can see heart rate 181. Obviously feeling quite a little bit of aerobic, or is it anaerobic? I don't know. Stress at the moment. Really going. There's a little bit of looking over the shoulders. Are you going to do something? And the answer is no, because I've also done some looking over my shoulders. I can see there's a few people on my wheel. So Hayden goes, jump on his wheel, and I'm back to being the leech. I am sucking off everyone's wheel at this point, because honestly, why would I do any work? But the frustrating thing is, why does it take me, okay, no, here we go. I was just about to say, why does it take me to this point in the race every single time, to start learning my lessons? About halfway through, I realised, I am absolutely cooked. This has been a really spicy race. It's like being on an episode of Hot Ones, and it takes me about halfway through. And then I decided, you know what, it's time to start racing tactically. And I just wish there's something in my head. I need someone to race with me. Flo at the start of the race even said, no attacking, sitting in. And I said, yeah, I always say that to myself until the first attack goes. But speaking of, here he is in his long johns. Crafty's off the front, getting crafty again. And really, I'm at this point just interested in sitting in. I am trying to chase some attacks, but I feel like my tactics get good here. They always do. It's just, it's so frustrating. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what it is about me. But maybe one day. I get to races and I've got a lot of nervous energy. I don't know whether other people get this too. I get a lot of nervous energy at the start of racing and I just need to burn it off somehow. And that tends to be just attacking. So yeah, probably need to work out a better way of dealing with that. Anyway, this one never need pre-workout. I don't understand all those gym bros that bring pre-workouts. Oh, bam! Oh, that's the Lorax off again. He's smoking it. Oof. Oh, there goes Crafty. And there goes. This is me actually genuinely trying to have an attack, but I've got so little left at this point that Flo just pedals away. Anyway, I think this goes nowhere, so let's just keep going. You might be thinking, oh, you're not being a dickhead, but Crafty goes, and I think as he goes past, he's like, let's have a crack. Yeah, here we go. That's 800, almost 900 watts. Almost hit the top of that watts chart there. And we get a gap again. Not enough of a gap, but there's a gap. And I go past Crafty on this turn and have a bit of a crack at trying to get something going. But it's just not happening. I don't know. It's like I've got a quota, like a dickhead quota. I've just got to be a dickhead a certain amount of times in a race. Or, anyway. It's another stupid move. We're on the front for a little bit. So we might as well just fast forward that, because the same thing happens again where the group goes past after I've spent a bit of time on the front. You can have a look over the shoulder and you can see I'm about, I'm not putting out crazy watts here, but the group is just letting me dangle on the front. It's just another example of just me racing stupid. Okay, to give myself credit, you can see the B sign there. That means this is the last lap. So I think I'd had a look down at my Garmin and I'd assessed that I had probably 2 laps left in this race. The Lorax had a chat to me. He said, let's go. I was keen. We'd sort of discussed that we'd go the second last lap. You can see him out the front there. He's about to have a crack. He was feeling a bit fresher than me. He'd come up to me and said, well, just how you feeling? Shit. And he said, do you want to attack next lap? I said, yeah. So anyway, Crafty got in before him, and I thought, you know what? As the kids say, YOLO. So I went, as the kids also say, I went full send. I'm a 35-year-old man using this language. But that's being a teacher, mate. It keeps you young. It keeps you young and fresh. So anyway, here we are. We are very much in the last lap here. And as you can see, things have come together right now over me. So pace is hotting up. It is, everyone's starting to jostle for positions. And one guy jumped in and he's like, mate, you're a dickhead. And I said, I know. And he said, you shouldn't be contesting sprints at the end. And I did a bit of like soul searching about this. I thought, is he right? I'm not a sprinter. The chances of me winning a sprint are very low. But I reckon a lot of people in here would say, like, you're not a sprinter. So what's the etiquette, do you think, about contesting a sprint? Do you only contest a sprint if you have a good feeling that you will win? How do you know if you're going to win as Crafty drops off there? That's sayonara, Crafty. He doesn't play in this race again. How do you know if you're not going to be able to contest? Like, I don't know. I'm working on my sprint. On Saturday, I left the bunch ride early and I did some sprints on the way home, sort of lining up 200-meter marks as we come into the sprint here. It is something that I'm trying to develop. I've been sitting in for the last lap to try and stay fresh. My positioning is not the best here. I should probably a bit further up. I've tried to move up, but I've sort of been boxing a little bit. As you can see, it's getting a little bit sketchy here. There's Demi, by the way. Hey, the Ox's wife, absolute weapon. And she is ahead of me, right behind the Ox, actually. That's so cute and so romantic. But this is the sprint. As you can see, I'm not really contesting it. And I realise that at this point, there are people that I want to be able to get past, and there are people that I know that I can't get past. And once I'm there, I just sort of sit in and roll through to the line. But yeah, anyway, this is the podium. So you can see we've got the gutter rats coming in with first, and then this is the B grade. So Lily, Clarence, Julio, Constantine, Bryce, and Clarence. Very well done. Something that my friend Lewis suggested that I include on these videos is the end podium. So anyway, I'm super interested to see how you thought, or what you think I can do to improve on this. Obviously, it's not the best race I've ever done, but yeah, interested to hear your thoughts. And with that, we are going to close off another session of how to lose a crit race with yet another loss. Thank you very much. You are welcome. I hope you had a nice time, and I will be back because I am absolutely loving it.